Hello everyone! In this episode, we're gonna build the fastest, the biggest, the coolest, and the most complicated bone meal farm in Minecraft Hardcore. Because we have the tree farm right there and the nether tree farm right here, I thought a nice place to put this bone meal farm was somewhere over there. So let's grab some wood to make some planks, make some chests, make our way down, and I think somewhere around here should do. So let's put down a bunch of chests, so we have plenty of space to put all the items that we're going to need to build this farm. This can go right here. Hello my friend, not today. Oh, rotten flesh. The first thing we're going to need is 27 stacks of building blocks. So I wanna empty these shulker boxes so that I can bring them over alongside these ender chests, and we can transport those building blocks much more easily. There we go. A full shulker box of stone bricks should give us exactly 27 stacks. So let's pick it up and move on to our next item, which is 25 stacks of redstone. So close, but I should have some more somewhere else. So let's grab these two shulker boxes and grab some more redstone. Oh yes. There we go. There goes 25 stacks, so we can start distributing the items inside the chests. Now we need 44 stacks of dirt, but I'm pretty sure I know where to find some. Oh yes. That's 27, and there goes 44. We also need 10 levers. Awesome. With 5 stacks of trapdoors. Awesome. And I'm also going to need a bunch of cobblestone to build many of the remaining items. There we go. Well, my friends, we have quite a lot more items to gather, so I will see you when I've collected everything and we can start clearing the area and building the farm. Hello my friends, here we are, the day later, and although I collected a ton of different items, there's still quite a lot to do. So using all of this redstone, let's craft everything that we need, and then see what's missing. There go the observers, the repeaters, here go the pistons, some of the sticky pistons, just missing 9 more stacks. There we go my friend, 15 stacks of sticky pistons, 10 redstone lamps, and last but definitely not least, we need 10 stacks of target blocks. Here's one, nearly a half, and we're missing all of the redstone to make this happen. But let's not worry too much about that for now, because with all of these blocks, we can definitely start building the first farm. And after that I'm gonna build the remaining 9, so I'm going to have to find a way to collect all of these target blocks. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of all of this area, so we can make space for the farm. Well my friends, I think it's time for a time lapse. So let's go! Awesome, something like this should do. And wait a second. Alright, much better. Oh, and I also want to mention that this farm is designed by Ilmango, but the tutorial that I'm going to be following today is by my friend Leonx. I'm going to leave a link to both videos down below. With that said, let's start building this thing. Leonx was kind enough to leave a schematic in the description of his video, so all we have to do is simply put all the blocks in the right place. Let's grab a bunch of items. Perfect. And now slowly but surely, we can start placing everything down. And what's really incredible is that we can actually go layer by layer, so we can make this build a lot easier. And I think right here is going to be great. Let me start by grabbing a bunch of dirt, just so I can fill in these gaps to make it easier to build. And it's just red because it's not grass but dirt, but soon it's all going to be green. I also want to get rid of these extra layers. Perfect. And with the floor done, we can start putting everything in. And by the way, if you've never used Lightmatica, it's an incredible mod. All you have to do is, with the items in your inventory, use your middle mouse button to click on the missing block and then just place it down. Let's see if we can go layer by layer and row by row. Alright, I think everything should be done in the first layer, so let's bring everything up one layer and keep going. Some redstone here, with some target blocks right here, redstone torches, and observers, with some repeaters, some blocks, like so, a torch, some more blocks, there we go, and some ice, with some composters, and we can repeat the same thing on the other side. Alright, the second layer is done, so let's work on the third layer. It seems like the third layer is done as well, so now moving on to the fourth layer. This layer is now done as well, so let's continue. And one more layer is done, and one more layer done. Now just missing some redstone. And with this done, we're just missing the lava. So let's get rid of everything that we do not need. Grab 8 buckets of lava. Perfect. And now we can slowly add it in. Hoping it's gonna stop right here, of course. Perfect. First section done. And now the second section done as well. And now, my friends, with this beautiful farm done, all we have to do is grab some bone meal and fill these dispensers. There we go. Now, unless I did something horribly wrong, if I flick this lever, the farm should start working. And it's not. I would have been very happy if it worked first try, but because it doesn't, let me go ahead and troubleshoot this really quick. Now I filled each dispenser with bone meal, so now if we flick this lever, it should start working. Welcome back, my friends. After roughly 1 hour of tinkering, I finally got it to work. So let's sleep the night. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's see this thing in action. Now my frame rate is dropping a ton because there's so much happening at the same time. But let's make an out-of-body experience, because as you can see, we have 2 stone generators that generate stone infinitely, which then gets converted into moss and dropped into these hoppers, into these composters, and the farm is completely self-sufficient. So as these dispensers fill up, we should have a nice stream of bone meal right here. Now I had many issues when I turned the farm off, so I just wanna try to flick this lever and hope for the best. Oh yes, this is perfect. And now with everything working, my friends, it's time to build this complicated design 9 more times. And of course, in between, I'm gonna try to collect as much wheat as possible and as much redstone so that we can get all the target blocks that we need to build all of these 9 farms. But without further ado, my friends, I think it's time for another amazing time lapse. Let's see how tall we can get this. Let's go. Ouch. My friends, as I was about to build this thing, I realized I wanted a very easy way to get wheat. So let's quickly build an automatic wheat farm. I'm gonna be using the design by Shulkercraft, and these are the items that I'm going to need. So let's pick this up, make our way towards this village, which is in render distance to our rich farm, and we can build the farm right here. Starting by getting rid of this Minecraft farm. Awesome. Now we can dig a 13 by 13 hole. Something like this should do. And now we can make it deeper. Now in the middle, we can dig a 2-block deep trench. Awesome. And now we can add some redstone torches, which we can now cover up. Now we can add the power rails. And now in this corner we can dig down, place a redstone torch, add a block on top of it, and another power rail. And now of course we can begin connecting everything together. And right here is where we're going to have our collection system. So let's add the chests, the hopper, the power rail. Now we can add a comparator, a block right here, with a redstone torch, a block on top, another comparator, and a block right here. Now if this hopper is full, the power rail is gonna turn off so that the minecart can unload its items inside this chest. And as soon as it's done, it's gonna turn back on. And we can cover everything up and put a glass block right here so we can check that everything is fine. And now we can simply put the minecart with hopper right here and watch it go. I just wanna make sure it goes all the way to the end, and once it reaches it, all the way back. There we go. Now we can cover everything up. And now we can build some walls. Something like this. Now we can put a composter and a glowstone right here, and also make sure that the walls are 2 blocks tall. Now just a little entrance, so that we can make some holes for the water. Now we can add some stairs, and waterlock them. Now we can add some carpets on top of the stairs, to prevent the villager from going on top of them. And talking about the villager, let's see if we can find one. Alright, here we have an armorer. Let's break his workstation and lure him towards the composter. Slowly. We can also just place a bed right here and wait for nightfall. And of course make sure there are no more beds around the village. Alright, there we go. Thank you, my friend. Welcome to your new forever home. Before we move on to the next step, however, I have to get a bunch of seeds, there we go, so that we can fill the villager's inventory, so he's not gonna have enough space for wheat, and he's just gonna throw it on the ground. Just gonna throw a couple seeds on the ground. Now we can make a crafting table, some sticks, some hose, and turn everything into farmland. I wanna speed up the farm, so I'm gonna grab these seeds and plant them all. And I have no idea what just happened, but to prevent it from happening again, I'm gonna place a roof on this thing. And now with some final tweaks, we can call this farm done. Well, my friends, I'm gonna make my way towards the witch farm, where we can AFK for redstone, and also for some nice wheat. Well, hoping that the farm works, and that everything goes according to plan, let's actually go ahead and start building the remaining farms. I can't really move in here. Anyways, let's go. Hello my friends! I wanted to give a quick update because as you can see, we're nearly halfway done with the build. And as you can see from the time lapses, we actually did quite a lot of things. So before finishing it off once and for all, let's go check out what we did. During a stream, because I needed a ton of wheat, we decided to build a whole new farmland. And if we look at it from above, it's nearly twice as big as the first one. And now it's fully harvested, so at least for this project, I don't have to worry about wheat anymore. Another thing that I did, of course, was AFK right up there, so we could get a ton of redstone from our epic witch farm. I think I got all of it, but there's definitely plenty of glowstone, gunpowder, spider eyes, a ton of bottles as well, sugar, and a ton of sticks, which is always handy for redstone torches, comparators, and repeaters. And yet another thing that I didn't show in the time lapses was what I did inside our trading hall, because I was so impatient for the redstone that I thought it would be amazing to trade with the clerics as well. So here we have a bunch of clerics that all trade redstone. I had to go back and forth from here to all the way down here so I could trade iron to get emeralds, and of course emeralds to get redstone. And as I was working on the bone meal farm, the iron farm was always in render distance, and as you can see it's still working, so I don't think we'll have to worry about iron for a very long time. I think that's everything that happened, my friends, so right now there's not much else to do than to finish this whole farm once and for all. Let's go! Welcome back everyone! After over 3 days of building, we are finally done. And we're not at the bone meal farm for now. This is actually our wood storage system. If you wanna see how we built this incredible structure, there's a whole video on the channel. You should totally go check it out. Anyways my friends, without any further ado, let's make our way past the iron farm and admire this massive build. Let's try to land on the mushroom. Close enough so we can make an out-of-body experience and check this whole thing out. Here's the first layer that we built together with 2 stone generators, a small item stream, a ton of other redstone blocks, and of course everything goes all the way right here just to be dropped down on the floor for now. And I repeated this whole design 10 more times. This is probably the tallest structure we've ever built in Minecraft Hardcore, and I'm so happy with the way that it came out. Back inside our body, we can get a closer look right by these chests. Of course these are not gonna be here for a long time. Next episode, when we're gonna make a build for this whole farm, I'm gonna remove them and find a better place for them. And my idea was simply to make my way from the tree farms all the way to the bone meal farm and just flick one lever. That's why I connected every single thing to one huge redstone line all the way on the back. But my friends, I know the biggest question on your mind right now is how everything looks when it's running. So it's time to flick this lever and see the whole thing go. Now quick heads up, my frame rate is gonna drop a ton because this farm produces a lot of bone meal, but it's not really FPS friendly. Alright, here we go. Oh yes, everything is working exactly as it should. And every single layer is producing around 7,500 bone meals every single hour. We can see the stone is being generated, converted into moss, and then with the help of the water, dropped inside these hoppers, inside the composters, and then converted into nice bone meal. Now every single layer is completely self-sufficient, so once they fill up, the bone meal is gonna be dropped right here. Alright my friends, with the farm doing its thing, and night coming, I think the only thing left to do is go ahead and start naming. Oh, by the way, if you wanna see the farm in action a little longer, I left some nice clips of it at the end of the video. But because we're about to leave this chunk, I'm gonna turn it off temporarily Perfect. Grab all of this sweet bone meal, and this is just from one layer, and start naming some items. Starting with my friend BX World, who would like me to name an elytra. BX World, so there you go my friend. And this elytra can go right here, next to Ethan and Jaden. And my friend Crazyfied wanted me to name a sword Crazy as Hell. There you go my friend. And of course the sword can go right here, inside our trophy room. And last but definitely not least, my friend Villager said that I could name anything Totem of Undying. And because I don't have a totem yet of course, I think the closest thing to it is this wheat, because it looks like a little voodoo doll. So let's bring it to the anvil, name it Totem of Undying, and find a nice special place for it inside of our trophy room. There we go, right next to the dragon's head. And now we finally have a Totem of Undying, which is awesome. Well my friends, this episode was truly crazy to make, but I'm so happy with what we accomplished today. And with the huge bone meal farm done, and the items named, I think it's time to call it an episode. I wanna thank you all so much for watching, and let me know, does your bone meal farm produce more than 75,000 items per hour? Leave a little comment if it does. And of course let me know if you want me to name anything in particular inside this hardcore world. I'm more than happy to assign new names. As the moon is rising and the sun is setting, I wanna wish you all an incredible day, and I can't wait to see you in our next hardcore episode, where we're going to take this crazy build and turn it into something incredible, just like we did right here. So if you have some ideas for that, let me know as well. Well, my name is Lonely, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.